Mr. Hopper has let me talk to you guys today. Because back in my freshman year, I didn't start out anywhere where you guys are at today. So, back to 2009 we go. I was a freshman in 2009, and I focused more on athletics than I did academics. And I struggled through that, especially with writing. So, yeah, I wanted to emphasize, I did not write my freshman year, hardly. Teachers knew that I struggled with my writing, and for example, I had Mr. Thornton my freshman year. I took world geography with him, and he had essay questions on his test. Well, instead of me writing them down, he would pull me out of the class after I got done with my multiple choice questions, and I would say them verbally to him because I could not write at all. But one day he presented a paper to us that we had to take home, and yeah, I didn't write it. My mom wrote it for me. So I always had my mom write my papers up until my junior year, and this is it. We had to write a paper about a country, and I can honestly tell you, I have no idea what's in this paper. Like, the only page that I wrote was this one, and it barely has anything, and all the rest, it's kind of obvious that it wasn't mine. My mom wrote all 9 pages of this. So, yeah. No. So, what happens when my mom was not there to write my papers? Well, I winged it. This is an example of what I wrote my freshman year for I had a collage in English class, and I had to describe my collage. Now, I wrote also, I have a bunch of magazine clippings that represent me. Like the one that says buckle up. It's so true. Never go into a car without buckling up. It is wrong and against the law not to buckle up. Now, I'm pretty sure that has nothing to do with my collage, and I just told you a safety rule about the road. So, yeah, that's how I wrote my freshman year, and it didn't help me at all. So, now, throughout 2 years, I had my mom writing my papers, and when I didn't, I winged it and just BS'd it. So, now, here we are at junior year, and I have a lot of important tests to take, such as mainly the Tennessee Writing Assessment. That's an important test that you're going to take your junior year, so it's important. Also, was going to take the ACT Plus writing because some of the colleges I'm looking at requires the writing part. And little did I know I was going to write a lot my junior year, so. My junior year, I got a writing prompt from Mr. Hopper. And as we all know, he loves to give us writing stuff, and yeah, that was my first topic of the year. Well, with that, I made a 2 out of 6. I had 2 paragraphs, I'll show you, in 45 minutes, only 2, and I did not have a thesis. So, yeah, it was agonizing to write this paper. I did not have my mom to write it for me, and I was just like, this is awful. And all he had to say on the back was, good job developing your ideas. Practice your timing to finish. That's just a good, nice way of saying, wow, this paper really sucked. So you need to learn how to, like, write more quickly. So, everybody has heard the famous, you're not there yet, from Mr. Hopper. Well, on average, I heard that about 1,000 times last year, and I was really devastated once I got this paper back. I knew that there was something that I had to do, and it was on rude awakening, more or less. So, it was definitely a pivotal point. I knew I had to do something, and I knew I had to do it quick, and I was devastated, and I didn't know where to start. But in personal finance, we were doing something called SMART goals. And with that, we wrote out a goal, and it stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Well, to sum it all up, my goal was to, well, A, finish a writing assignment. I mean, how to do that. And B, I wanted to make a 4 or higher on the Tennessee writing assessment. And that was my goal. And how I got there was, I had to push through. I knew that it was going to be hard in the next few months, in that little time span, to go from a 3rd grade writing topic to where I am at today. So what I did was, on my free time between the September of last year and the writing assessment, I did a blog with Celeste. I mean, it was a good way to practice, and also it was fun at the same time. And we'd stay up till midnight talking on the phone, editing it, and correcting and all that. Also, some nights I would just go home whenever I did not have homework, and I would go on the Tennessee Writing Assessment website, and I would choose a topic that night. And I would just write about it for 35 minutes. And I knew I had to do it. So, I remember whenever I was devastated, it was an empty classroom, and I was just like, this is awful, Mr. Hopper. I don't know what I'm doing. And he was just like, yell, si se puede. And I was like, what? And he's like, just say it. I was like, si se puede. He's like, louder. And I was like, si se puede. And then he's like, yell it. And I was like, si se puede. And he's like, good, we're going to get there. So I was like, wow. Well, April 30th, 2012, I received my writing assessment score back. And with that, I was really shocked, but very happy. Out of my entire junior class, I was the only junior to receive a 6 out of 6 on my writing assessment, out of all the entire junior class, and that was totally legit. Honestly, if I could give you guys, if I could answer the question, why is writing important? Writing for me has opened so many doors. I'm now taking freshman composition, in which I will receive a college credit in May. So now I'm writing college papers. And it's just, whenever I apply to colleges, you're going to get a lot of essays to write. I know for some colleges I'm applying to, I'm going to have to sit down and write soon, plus scholarships. Honestly, my junior year was a huge blessing. Like, I could not picture me still being a senior and not writing the way I do. And honestly, I'm incredibly lucky to have people like Mr. Hopper and Celeste and the huge support system from my family through this. And because it was just incredibly awesome, and sometimes you might wonder why Mr. Hopper is making you do this. Why is he making us write every day? Why is he doing this and that and yonder? Because I don't want you guys to be like me and have y'all's parents write your papers or wing it when you have to, because it's important to write. And honestly, I'm just happy that I'm at where I'm at today. And Mr. Hopper already knows that I have appreciation for him, but I can't thank him enough, and Celeste. So that's what I have to say.